Shares of Peloton are going to be down in the pre-market, at least. They were down a lot more, actually, aftermarket yesterday when the company did report a wider than expected loss. Its paid digital subscription numbers were also short of forecasts of the analysts who follow the company. Peloton also announcing it will cut the price of its flagship bike by $400. And in a filing this morning, Peloton now tells us it's been subpoenaed by the government, and it's actually the DOJ, and also includes the Department of Homeland Security, for documents related to reporting of injuries associated with its products. Also says the SEC is looking into related public disclosures. All we got, guys, yesterday was an internal controls update at the end of the press release, referring to their upcoming annual report. There was an immaterial discrepancy they were talking about in year-end physical inventory counts, but it remains to be seen how people are going to respond to this additional disclosure we got with the filing this morning.
You know, it was actually a narrower loss right now than it was at the immediate reaction to the, lowered guidance on cash flow and things like that after the close. So we'll see. I mean, the stock's already, it's lost a third of its value from the highs. It's been kind of trying to go sideways a little bit, like a lot of these, classic pandemic pull forward type plays, but super expensive stock. I mean, the bulls are out there defending it based on 2023 revenue multiples and things like that.
Yeah, B of A does upgrade, and that's really what brought it off the early morning lows. We think price cuts will open new layers of demand for several years, given their strong conviction on the tread and still low churn. We are upgrading to buy target 138 out of B of A. Interesting, the average number of workouts per sub, 19.9
I was going to say 20 a month or so.
Versus 26 in Q1. So people who have it already are using it less.
Yeah, and of course it has been one of the key plays for the stay-at-home economy, and the question continues to be what kind of rates it will see as we do some sort of return, which again remains to be seen as well, because we talk about it so often in terms of how many people are really going back to the office and how often are they actually going.
But it is interesting that the street wants to value it on the content, on the subs, right? So that's why the lower price is not necessarily seen as, kind of a negative.
Right. The hardware not necessarily the problem.
Meanwhile, where is the multiple, Mike? I mean, what are we talking about here?
I mean, they're not really, on a bottom line basis, going to make too much money.
Right.
I looked at one report that says, 15 times, kind of a blended for the sum of the parts. But it's mostly on kind of gross profit or revenue in 2023. So you have to be creative in terms of how you value it. I think it's honestly, it's just kind of like this brand that it's a bet on the staying power of the brand.